Hola, hola, hola. Buenas tardes, Leonora.
Hola,
Está.
¿cómo están?
¿Qué tal? Bien, bien. Ya estamos solucionando un problemitas técnico acá, así que ahora ya la largamos. Eh, Buenas tardes a todos los espectadores. En unos minutitos iniciamos el seminario web. Tuvimos un inconveniente técnico que ya fue solucionado, así que aguarden un momento que ya comenzamos. Muchas gracias y disculpen la demora.
Hi, Elio, you're in. You made it. ¿Estás?
Yes, I'm here.
Good, good.
Hello,
Let
everyone,
me ask, let me
and
tell
welcome.
Denise. Let me tell Denise.
Buenas tardes,
Ah,
Gaby.
Denise, ya podés entrar, parece que lo solucionaron, chiquitas, gracias. Y me falta la Clau. Clau, we fixed it. Te esperamos acá. Besito grande.
Gaby,
Ok.
ya comuniqué a los espectadores que tuvimos un inconveniente técnico, así que ya ellos ya están también, ya estamos en el webinar, digamos. Ya están todos los participantes.
¿Están entrando? ¿Ya son esos? Ok.
Sí, 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 ya ingresaron.
Ok, perfect.
Estamos ya en el webinar.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience and for having you waiting for us, but we had a technical problem. My name is Gabriela Marota. I'm the academic director at Aticana BNC in Tucumán, Argentina. I want to welcome you to the Teaching Capacity Building Program 2021. We started this professional development program for EFL teachers last year in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. A year of learning and growth has gone by, and now, more than ever, teachers all over the world are working together, focusing on building resilience and embracing the challenges in education. That is why, just like in 2020, three binational centers in Argentina are hosting the Teaching Capacity Building 2021 program. ICANA from Córdoba, ICICANA from Salta, and Aticana from Tucumán. The program consists of a series of 15 webinars delivered by a group of committed and hardworking English teachers who are all alumni of U.S. Embassy-sponsored programs. They are generously sharing their expertise and best practices during these challenging times to help EFL teachers in our current teaching practice, whether it is virtual, in-person, or hybrid. Our deepest thanks to all the alumni presenters and the U.S. Embassy for their help in the organization and delivery of this program. A very special thank you to Noris Cerda, coordinator at the Public Affairs section of the Embassy of the United States in Buenos Aires, and to Giselle Dubinsky. Thank you, Eleonora Salas, Academic Director at ICANA, Córdoba, and thank you, Claudia Corimayo, Academic Director at ICICANA. Before we start, I want to make two small announcements. Please type your questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of the screen, because I'm sure there will be lots of questions to answer. And the link to download your certificates of attendance will be posted in the chat section at the end of the webinar. So try to be aware of that, okay? I would like to introduce our speaker of today. She is Denise Anderson. She has been partnered for 10 years now, okay, and is a proud mother of a 2-year-old baby boy named Juanse. She graduated from Instituto Superior del Profesorado Presbítero Sáenz in Buenos Aires and delivered classes as a remote teacher in Plan Ceibal, Montevideo, Uruguay, 2013. She was the teacher in charge of the English Access Micro Scholarship Program of the U.S. Embassy 2019-2020 at Universidad Provincial de Ezeiza, Buenos Aires. She's also a Cambridge speaking examiner, PET, CAT, and Cambridge first levels, and a member of the EF assessment unit of Universidad Provincial de Ezeiza. She is an U.S. Embassy alumni as she successfully accomplished the open online training former e-teacher delivered by Arizona State University in the U.S. on professional development for teacher trainers in 2020. During this presentation, Denise will show us a variety of online tools that can be embedded in interactive presentations or images. Learning how to do this will benefit both teachers and students since it provides both of them with a better organization. Everything they need will be just a click away. So, Denise, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all fine. And well, I'm going to get started. I'm going to share my presentation with you. Well, actually, the presentation software that I'm using is Genially, which is the presentation software that we are going to be discussing today, and all the different parts and different aspects that we can use. I welcome you all to Let's Become Steamrollers of Change, which I think is a phrase that summarizes the work that we all teachers have been doing all throughout these 2 years, which have been quite difficult to kind of deal with regarding all kinds of family aspects and not only the classrooms, the virtual classrooms, right? So I included this quotation because I think it's interesting. Once a new technology rolls over you, if you're not part of a steamroller, you're part of a road. And I think that this specifically shows that we should always become part of a steamroller. Even if we are older or we become older as years go by, but we should always be part of a steamroller. Because if not, we're part of a road and then we are nothing in our classrooms. So as Gabi very well explained, the main idea of this presentation is to show you that learning is just a click away, right? And we have all had proof of that during these 2 very hard years. So what I want to show you is something that I discovered throughout my classes during the pandemic when I had to be at home. And I have decided to show you this software presentation in different steps. Step 1 is how you log in. Yes, this is pretty intuitive. Yes, you get, for example, you can sign up and you put all of your data and you register, or then you can log in with Google, which is something that we do for lots of different web pages, which is easy, right? Step 2, you will find this sign. This sign will appear, which says create Genially, and there you will have different options. What we are going to be talking about today, because this is kind of an infinite place of choices for you. So I invite you to keep on digging this software presentation. But we are going to deal with presentations, interactive images, and video presentations, particularly today. Step 3 shows the, I have included here a presentation opened, yes, in the in edit mode. And there you will see that you have, and it's very, very similar to a PowerPoint presentation, but it's online. I think that before the pandemic, we were kind of scared of using online tools because we always thought that we should have a B plan and a C plan and a D plan with online tools. But nowadays, everything, I mean, even our class depended on the internet. So this was kind of a given situation, and we had to use online tools all the time anyway. So I started trying, I became part of a steamroller, and I started using this new presentation software. In here, you're gonna see that you have the slides. Yes, if you choose the presentation mode, and you have here a bar with different kinds of tools, right? So it's like an online PowerPoint, but it has more things to include, right? Here is the bar, and you have the text part, the image, that you can upload images from your computer, or you can look them up in the software presentation here. There you have resources in which you can find GIFs and I don't know, pictures maybe for the background of your presentation. You can create whatever you want. Sky is the limit with this tool. And then interactive elements, which is one of the most interesting things about this, which we will be discussing in a few minutes. Smart blocks are things that have already been created and they look beautiful. I'm going to show you a few in a minute. Like with little cartoons of people, like, I don't know, working in teams, or you can find whatever you want in smart blocks to be able to fit it in your presentation. Insert is to insert all kinds of videos or images as well. Background is for you to choose if you want a picture background, or maybe you can have different features and different patterns for the background of your presentation. And then here pages, it just shows the different slides that you have in your presentation. So we're gonna start with interactive images. Yes, so I'm gonna show you here. At the end of this presentation, you're going to receive the link to this presentation in particular, which has all of the different aspects that we will be discussing embedded in it. So you don't have to write anything down. You just have to pay attention and enjoy if you find it useful. I hope so. So I'm going to show you the 3 examples that I have included. The first one here is an interactive image. This is a very simple interactive image, which has different hearts with the flag of the USA, right? So if you click, yes, on each of the hearts, you will get to a different web page, right? So in this case, what I included were different mock tests, like to practice. For example, practice test 13 for listening, right? So there, students can download the listening. Here, if you click on this one, you can find the other section, which is the reading section. If you click on this one, you will find here the writing section, and the last one is the speaking one. So with only one interactive image, you can embed as many elements from the internet as you want. This is what I want to emphasize today, which helps our students get more organized, right? So this is one of the things that we can do, yes, create interactive images. This is a very simple one. I just painted it in 2 different colors and I added the hearts. It's very, very simple. But then we have more complicated ones, more complex ones that you can find, and you don't have to create from scratch, right? Which is what works best for teachers, right? We can create something that looks this beautiful, because I do think that this looks gorgeous. And we can have it like in 2 minutes, right? We have the template, and the only thing we have to do is we have to include our information, right? And we have to make the interactive buttons to create the, in this case, the biography that we want. In this case, connected with Robin Williams, right? So Here, if you click on here, you will go to biography. If you click here, you will see all of his the films that he has participated in. Curiosities, videos, photos, pictures about him. And then here you can add social networks, social media. I believe that this is very useful for you to teach this, how to use this to your students as well. I have, and I can tell you that I have not regretted it, because they can get everything organized in just one picture. Yes, with just a few touches, right? So this is the last example I'm going to show you of an interactive image. Yes, this is the simplest one because you have just the picture on the background and you add the different interactive buttons, right? You can choose your own picture, as I said, or you can find the interactive images in the templates that are given. Genially is a free presentation software, and if you want, you can pay for it and you will get even more templates and more tools for you to use. But the free version is really, really good, and it's very complete, and it has lots of things for you to use. So for example, with my students, like as Gabby was mentioning, I was a teacher in Access program. And with my students, we had a project connected with jobs. So we did some interviews. They had to apply for jobs. They had to send emails. So what we did was we created an interactive image with all the information, with the things that we had seen in class, so that they could have everything together in just one picture. So here you have example phrases. Here you will find a cover letter example. If you click here, information phrases. And if you click on the last one, you will find how to respond to an ad. And here there's another presentation embedded in the interactive image, right? I'm not going to show you everything because we won't have enough time for you to see all of the examples in detail. But once you get the link to my presentation, you can dig in and check everything that is included here, right? This is all, that is all actually for interactive images, which is one of the most, one of the simplest ways of using Genially. Then we have videos. And with videos, I included just one example. There are templates of videos. So for example, when we finished, me and my colleague, Karina, we finished Access program. We wanted to create something that was nice in a way and that we could bond with students because we were under quarantine, so we couldn't get to say goodbye to them face to face. So we created a video. The good thing about this is, again, that you have a template also for the video. So the only thing you have to do is just replace the things that you might not like, maybe about the template, or the things that you want to include about your students, for example. So I'm going to show you a little bit about this video. Okay, so that's one example. Yes, you can have a look at it later. I don't know if you've seen every single special effect that appeared there. Maybe because of the internet connection, something might have been lost, but then you can have a look at it once you get the link. As the third thing that I want to show you today are the interactive games. These are also things that we can do ingenially. We can create different versions of games. There are lots of games. I'm going to show you the simplest ones, the ones that we can do in just 2 minutes, because that's usually the time that teachers have. So there are some that are like breakout rooms. Yes, and you have to find things like discover and go on a quest, on a kind of quest. So for example, in my case, I included a little bit of help in the first one, and I included a little video revising all of the vocabulary and all the things that we had seen with my students. And what I did was, then I asked them, after watching the video, I asked them to take the quiz. The good thing about this quiz is that once you get, and then I'm going to invite you to do it afterwards, you have a series of questions and you are going to answer them. And once you get to the end, yes, you get a number. So when you go to the last one, the destination, you should, by that moment, you should have written the 4 numbers that you get at the end of each quest. So it's a kind of good activity for your students to focus on the activities that they are carrying out, but also on the ending of those activities. So they get a number, and when they come here to the end of the quest, they have to type the 4 numbers. If they type them correctly, then they get to the end. What I did with my students here was I created another Zoom session. So all those that were playing in the different Zoom rooms, I got to know that they had finished because they entered the other Zoom room. So that was the only way. If they got all the information to enter the other Zoom, then it meant that they had finished this series of tasks. So this is one, which is very interesting, and there are lots of formats. This is just one. And every week or every month, they add more of the free version to the free version. Then we have another one, which is a kind of puzzle. And students have to answer questions like choosing the correct option. Sometimes you can have 2 options, sometimes you can have 4 options. And what you do is once when they finish, you get to form the whole puzzle. And sometimes that can lead to something else, or it can lead to maybe having the rest of the picture complete. But maybe during the questions, maybe you can start asking them questions, so you can work on predictions. Maybe when they see one part of a picture, and when they see the other side of a picture, maybe they see this one and they see this one here. So it's a very interesting activity in which students will be revising vocabulary or whatever you want them to revise, while at the same time they will be working on their prediction skills maybe, or whatever you want to make it for, right? That's the idea. We also created, for example, different games in which they had to do this. And when they got the big picture, what they did was they got a video of an international guest, for example. So somebody from, I have friends all around the world, so I asked them to record videos, and my students were exposed to real English from different parts of the world. And they had to solve the activities in order to get to see the new international guest. So that is just up to you, but what this tool provides us with is a way of creating nice and visually attractive aids for our students, mainly when we are in virtual classes, but I find myself using it in class every time now that we are in face-to-face classes, and it looks really, really nice. Apart from these games, you can also add any other games that you want. Anything that is on the internet can be added here. Anything that is on the internet. I mean, if you want word wall, maybe if you have bamboozle games, whatever you want, if you have a link, you can add it here. So I'm going to show you the last thing that we're going to see. With organization comes empowerment, or at least that's what I think. And I would say that helping our students organize and having their material organized can help them become better students and become more focused. And sometimes it might feel a little bit overwhelming when they are preparing exams, especially international exams. Or little kids also when they are preparing things that for the final exam that you have internally. Yes, that can be a little overwhelming for them. So having everything organized for them in a way, all the things that you have used all throughout the year can help them feel safer and feel more comfortable. Everything can't be just a click away. So the idea is to have something that is not as visually overwhelming as at least as I used to do it, which is what happens here on the left. Yes, here we have a class, a typical Google Classroom, class actually. And here are all the links of the games that I played with my students and live worksheets, which are activities that you can do online if you're not familiar with them. And well, all of these were included in Google Classroom, which is really useful and everything, but you see that sometimes you don't get to see the whole name of the game or of the activity, and that can be a little bit misleading. So the difference between this and this is, I would say it's a world of a difference. You have here in just one big presentation, yes, all of the things that you have here in all the different aspects. So you can help your students get more organized and find the materials easier, right? For example, since I know you work with this international exam, I created one presentation, yes, that contains things connected with TOEFL, right? So one of the presentations that you can make is this one, for example. So for writing, students know that that link, yes, if they click here, or if they click here, or if they click here, they can go to writing practice only, right? So in here, for example, you can have a live worksheet, yes, here, and you can have some practice, yes. This is one of the examples of things that you can add. And in here, for example, you can find a word wall game with ideas and phrases and things for students to practice their writing skills. Maybe they're not going to write here, but they are going to find the phrases that they have been working on with you, and they can play some games so as to revise. So by the end of the month, of the week, or of the year, you can send them this whole presentation, and students can have the general idea of the whole year for them to revise, because sometimes having a folder, and now we have seen that things change a lot, having a folder might not be enough, right? And sometimes kids lose things. So this is a good way of having them, of having all the material together, right? So here, maybe you have a game and they can have the right answers, the wrong answers, they can have everything. And the last one here is another word wall resource, which is connected with writing as well. So there. You can have different formats. This is another very, very useful tool, word wall. You can have lots of different activities and in different formats, and you can change them. You can change the format, like you can have a wheel, you can have different things. I would definitely, I would strongly recommend you to use this one too, because I would say it's my right hand nowadays. writing, I said, this is one. And then for speaking, maybe you can include different different gifts, maybe not the same. Maybe you can, in order to help them remember what they are going to find in the links. Maybe if the reading that they did or the speaking activity they did was connected, I don't know, with a dog, maybe you can put a dog face, or you can put some phrases, or whatever you want can be made interactive, right? So here we have TOEFL expressions. Here we have, let's see, TOEFL speaking activities, but with a different format, with random cards. So this is interesting to change the not to have all the time the same material. So you have different formats, and sometimes when international exam practice turns a little bit boring or tiring, we can have at least a different image to look at. So here you have, for example, the different cards, right? And you can mix them, and you can go again, and you can go back also. I think that this was the last one. TOEFL practice questions. Here is a link to another activity, another set of activities that if you want to show your students, they can work on it. So I think that the internet offers a world of opportunities. So I think that together with this tool, with this interactive tool, we can make it work really well. The last thing is, I think it's the last, listening. So in here, I have added a listening activity from live worksheets in which students can click on the play button and they can work on the listening on their own, right? These are all new tools that have, well, not completely new, but they appeared during the pandemic. And you can use them. The interesting thing is that you can embed them all here, right? Apart from that, something that I found really, really useful is that you can embed YouTube videos. So for example, if you want them here to watch the top 10 tips for TOEFL speaking, the TOEFL essentials, the main mistakes that students find, or that students make, how to score 24 plus, there you can include the videos, and they
Here we
will...
are, top 10 TOEFL speaking tips. And let me start right away with TOEFL speaking tip number 1, stop.
There you go, and you have everything here on the same page, right? On the same slide. This is, and you can add as many as you want. You can add all the interactive elements that you want. So maybe you send your students, you work on your in your classes with some material, and then you can send a Genially presentation with all these things and different steps to follow so that they work on them. If you connect them with WordWall and with live worksheets, then you will get a record of your students' work. Or you can also embed here the link to a Google form also. And it takes them to a Google form. They do the Google form and you receive their answers. So it's quite an interesting tool to use. Because as a round-off, I would like to say that as a person who has been training students for a first certificate in English for a very long time, for many years, we have to try to get out of that thought that we are preparing students for an exam. Our job is not to prepare students for something, for an exam or for whatever. Our job is to help students prepare themselves for anything. So that's why I invite you to become steamrollers of change. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you very much. I don't know if the audience has any questions for Denise. I think you might have many. I think it was really amazing. It depends on your imagination, I guess.
Yes. Yes, I have lots of examples. It was very, very difficult to choose from them because I have like 140, I think, Geniallys prepared. That's my number of Geniallys. And so if you want If you want or need anything, then my cell phone and my email and everything is in the last slide. If you want to ask me anything, whatever you want, I will be more than glad to help you.
Okay, I shared a while ago your link so that everybody has your presentation. And I think they will make very good use of it. And I think genuinely is going to be used in every BNC because it's really wonderful. It looks wonderful. I love the flowers and everything is wonderful, really.
Yes, and I invite you to enter and try everything because there are infinite possibilities. There are infinite possibilities, and there you also have other options. I just chose a few because of time. But then you have things to create flyers, for example, you have infographics, you have lots of things to use. I know that people are used to using Canva. Well, this is, to my mind, this is an improved version of Canva because the interactive elements make a difference, really make a difference. I'm seeing here in the chat, yes, everything I created, I showed was created with a free account. Yes.
Okay, I just answered the questions. They were asking if where your presentation was or if it's going to be some other place out of the chat. And I just said, it's in the chat, so just copy it. And yeah, I think it's easier, okay? Okay, okay, any other questions? Well, I guess that was it. But we really want to thank you, Denise. It was a wonderful presentation. And no, it really was. And I think everybody's going to use Genially in some way in the classroom webinar, okay? And say thank you for sharing all your insights, your knowledge with us, and all the resources, free resources, okay? And to you, our audience, thank you for joining us today. Thank you again to the US Embassy for their support. And we invite you to register to our next webinar, which is going to be next Friday. I want to notice that the whole month of October, every Friday we had a webinar, okay? So there's one more next Friday with Gonzalo Diaz. And probably in November, there are going to be 2 more. So because people are really asking for this and they're very interested and we're having great results, okay? So it's goodbye for now. We'll see everyone in a week and I hope you had a great time with us, okay? So bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye,
Denise.
thank you.
Bye-bye.